Well, hello. It's been a while. I don't know how long for you. I'm actually caught up on all my filming and editing because there hasn't been much to show you. I'm still waiting to harvest cotton, but we're going to this video, believe it. It is now after Christmas. It's been weird. I sprayed everything to try to speed it up, and I don't know if that was the right decision. Nothing's been fast. It's all slow, not just for me, but everywhere. I'm out standing near my parents' house. This is probably the worst cotton, some of the worst, and it's just little, burned up a little bit before, especially where I'm standing. And I've just been waiting for the bowls to open, and we finally got these top ones that are cracking, but they're not good. I mean, this is pretty pitiful. I mean, this is the worst of the worst of this field. So speckles of white, because it all looks like this. Not great. So what I'm feeling is to see, are these bowls even dry? Like, I'd like to get as much cotton out of this as I can. They're not really cracking. Like, I'd like to see something that's for sure dry. See the difference? Hear the difference? So the problem is it's like almost 4 o'clock and the humidity's still at 45%. That's as low as it's gotten, and it's been a sunny, windy day all day. We just have so much humidity, stuff's not drying out fast at all. Tomorrow's going to be 70s, and then the next day's going to be almost 80 degrees. Stuff should dry if it's going to dry, but we got to get this humidity down. And so, been waiting, been slow. The wheat's going to be super late, not insurable now. It's very strange. Should I have sprayed? I don't know. If I didn't spray, would any of those bowls even opened? Are they going to open enough to get it into the basket anyways? Should I get them? Should I want them in the basket? The goal is to get the most lint. I know I'm going to get hit on quality, but I've got some insurance protection on quality. So the pounds is what I want, I think. I just don't know. When should we start? I don't know. I'm gonna try to figure some of that out. I'm over here by the barn. See, there's the barn over there. And this cotton's a lot better. There's more actually good cotton in here, but with still some of the same issues as the other stuff over there. So you can see there's more of that, which we'd love to see more of that. That's been open for a while. Listen, that's ready to go. Like, we could strip that. This is all crispy, dry, no problem. That's probably no good. I don't want that probably anyways. Is looking to see these top bowls like that's. Will it even crack, or is that as good as it's going to get? Does it even matter? Is it worth even spending any time? Like, that's terrible, but that's not cracking like I'd hope. I'd like to get all this out. Is that nitpicky? I don't know, you tell me, but like, I can still feel the moisture in some of these bowls. Question is, like, with a lower humidity for today, make it where this whole plant's ready to go, or am I going to throw out those bowls no matter what? How much longer do I wait? It is late. We should be done by now. We're close to done. So I don't know. This cotton is definitely better. I mean, you can just tell, there is cotton in it. None of it's great. Like, I know it's not great. I'm not telling you I'm going to make a bale, 2, 3 for sure. Like, that's just not what we're never going to do. 3 bale. 2 is very, very rare. I made 1 2 years ago, a bale an acre. That's kind of a pretty good standard for us, but this stuff is nowhere near a bale. I don't know what it'll make, but you're like, why would you not just collect insurance on it? Well, here's my belief, and I'm informed by what my dad has kind of done and what has taught me is we contract our insurance price and sign up for our insurance coverage back in March, and so they set that price at whatever cents a pound, hopefully $1. That's not very common. And so we established that, then we plant in June, and then we take it through to this point where we'd harvest. Well, we get an appraisal to say the appraisal will say, I think it's going to make this many pounds, and you can decide, well, I'll take that appraisal and I'll destroy the crop and collect insurance. So that's easy. Yeah, I could be done with all this. But whatever number you and your appraisal goes onto your average, and our coverage levels depended on our 10-year average. So if you have a bunch of zeros or low appraisal numbers, well, then your average goes down, so your coverage goes down, and your premium gets more expensive, like most insurances tend to happen. So I was blessed to inherit some really good averages from my dad, and so because we would harvest crops like this, they're not great, but it helps that average stay out, so that when we do have losses, well, then there's still a really good average there to cover a bad year. At least that's the way we operate. Not everybody does that. And so most cotton has been shredded. There's very little that will be harvested this year. And I still think it's right to harvest most all of it. Some of it I'm a little bit bummed, like where I was just at my parents' and in Old Glory. It's not very good, but maybe it'll surprise me on how much it goes in there. So I'd like to make some to help that average out, so that when it is a year where, hey, maybe the cotton doesn't come up at all, or it freezes like last year, well, then I can take the low appraisal because there's nothing I can do. Here, I think there's a lot I can do and harvest it. It's just when can I? Well, I'm just the next patch over, close to the barn. Just, it looks from the road about the same. There's not near as many bowls up top, like, that looks more like my parents' house. There's just more open underneath, and so why it should make better, because it's got better fluffier cotton in here that is dry. So this we could probably start on, is my guess. You don't know until you get out in the field and look at more of it. There's a big rabbit right there. Look at that. Sorry, buddy. So yeah, because that's terrible. Like that. Is it going to make it in the basket? Does it matter? Yeah, what I'm seeing here is that the top bowls here are mostly junk. There's not near as many like what's over at my parents', so they're still just not cracking like crazy. So but it's not great. It also is misleading because there's a lot of leaf that got stuck on here. Everybody had that problem, but like, look how much we lost. There's still a bunch of leaves that came off. There was just a bunch of leaves on the plant. There's a bunch of this kind of junk that never had a chance. And so it's hard to see the white that's in some of these spots because there's so much leaf and brown matter and stems and junk. But I'm hoping that a lot of this will slough off. Either not, when I strip it, when it goes to the burr extractor is another option. The gin also can get it out. We pick a smooth leaf variety to hopefully help with that. Leaves are categorized in a lot of different ways. A couple ways, like smooth, semi-smooth, hairy, or I don't know if they call it semi-hairy or hairy, but anyways, the hairier the leaf, it's got more hairs, it'll stick to the lint, and it's harder to get it cleaned out. Well, you can get a grade that shows you have too much leaf in your cotton, and you'll get docked for that. So we try to pick a smooth leaf that hopefully won't stick as much. It might kind of slough off through those processes. But you see a leaf like that, say that's a smooth leaf, well, it doesn't really matter. It's crunchy, and something crunchy like that gets on a lint, what's liable just to get caught in there, and then it's caught in the lint forever. So, next patch here, it's different over here. I think this stuff didn't burn up as much and didn't put on as much, or didn't have the energy, or because it spent more time putting fruit. It held more fruit is what I think happened. I think that the stuff over my parents burned up and started throwing off more fruit early to just try to survive, so it didn't set many of these early bowls. You want to see, these are your better, supposed to be your better cotton as you're closer to the plant. And so here you see a lot more. Now, I'm not saying it's great cotton, but it is better cotton down here close to these inside main stem. And so that once we got those rains, this is my hypothesis, it didn't have as much energy or juice left to develop those top bowls because it had these bottom bowls that it was trying to finish and held on to, which is good. That's what we want. You'd rather have plants that look more like this than all stuff just here sitting on the top. So you look at the tops here, that never had a chance. And stuff like this is just junky. Whereas there's less at my parents' house that looks like this, more that looks, which I think would probably look like that. Not great, but better. So, but this stuff's dry. I think we could strip this tomorrow, maybe. I mean, I wish it would crack a little more on some of these. That's terrible. I wish it'd break like that. So, what I'm seeing so far from the spots over here by the barn is, I think we could go if we get some sun coming out tomorrow, wind blowing again. Probably could do it if we want to. It's tomorrow's Sunday. Go after church maybe. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep looking around. Okay, here's a spot where some grasshoppers ate and then water stood. So this is some pretty tall cotton. It's not great either, but yeah, I'm not seeing a lot up at the top. It's like, oh, we should wait longer for that. How terrible. 5-lock bowl. Not gonna make you a bunch of money, but it's 5-lock, which is good. Had some pigs hanging out in here, wallering around. This is what gets in your baskets and causes problems, or in your row unit. Then you gotta dig it out. Oh, it's sharp stickers. Dang Russians and their thistles. Again, I'm not seeing, oh, here on the top, it started to grow vegetatively, but it didn't set a bunch of fruit. Whereas that's what happened over my parents. Have I said that enough times? Okay. I told you on this video we'd be stripping cotton, and I'm a promise keeper if anything, so we're stripping cotton today. Going to the field, Dad's gonna come pick me up, and we're gonna try at least. Gotta put this in road gear, which has never been done before. It's in neutral, so there we go. Now it's in road gear. There we go, now it's in road gear. Alright, to the field we go. It's been a little bit of a slower day than I anticipated getting out here. Just stuff. It's hot today. Hot is like relative mid-70s, but feeling it. We had another thing found broke. Part of it, luckily we found a spare part on the extra row unit I have. Fixed it, so now we're going to try it. So we're going to start at the field. This field we call the 160. Guess why? 160 acres. Bet you never guessed it. So this is probably, I would think, the best, at least that way it looks, the most consistent. It's a 160 acre field. We're going to harvest about 80 acres because we have everything in halves. You understand my rotation because you watch all my videos. So who am I telling? So we'll get this going. We're going to try out my stripper, at least get it started. Dad's going to come get me in a minute, and we'll get it set. Then we'll get the builder, probably get my new builder out and get that going, and then we'll get his going once we see how everything is doing. So lots of setting up here, so I probably won't, maybe I'll see what I show you as we're getting it set up, but I'll for sure see you once we're rolling. Well, just stripped the first basket. It's kind of junky in places, it's decent in places, just kind of what we expected. Just got the builder moved out here, and I'm gonna dump the first dump, and after that we're just gonna keep doing that. So it started. I'm trying to get a little light in here so I can talk to you. So Dad got over here and the belt fell off the cleaner, so we just fixed that. Don't know why I did it, but seems to be working now. He's stripping. So, you know, now it's dark, and we're going to finish this module with 2 strippers. Hopefully get all the kinks worked out tonight. And tomorrow have a good day with wind. It's going to be windy. You know, it seems to be the norm with cotton stripping, but for some reason now, I looked at my basket just now and I didn't get it all out. So I'm going to dump again and try to get the rest of that's stuck in there, and just work out the kinks on this first day of stripping. So stay tuned. It'll get better. I don't know if it'll get better, but there'll be more of it. How about that? Well, stripping cotton. So this is one of the benefits of being able to have the 7 rows. So Dad's going, and so I gotta leave his through over there undisturbed. But if I go to the next one, our rows over there will hit each other, or could hit each other. So that would be my next pass should be over there. But I just jumped over and I'm stripping, normally see there's a single row being stripped right there. Normally that's stripped over on that unit. So I'm shifted over, stripping the other direction so that I don't run into Dad. So that's kind of nice. See the cotton, it's not great. It's big and bushy and not a lot of cotton, but we're smelling kind of some rotten cotton as we're stripping and dumping in the basket, but it's going all right. Kind of cool to see 2 strippers going in our fields. I've never seen it before, and they're ours, so we're rolling. I'm really excited about with this stripper is it's got not auto steer, but road guidance, and you can't see these buttons, but it's that light up there. I'll show you all this more in the daylight, but I can drive with no hands. See? No hands. Dad's unit has it. I'm sorry, this is dark, but it's never worked right. His is a 2004, the first year they came out with the 7460 and that road guidance, and he said it never worked right. And so didn't know how it would work with this, but so far it's working good. I'm excited because I can actually do I can film, that's important things. I can look better because normally when I'm like on Dad's machine, I'm glued to the road making sure I don't come off. Here I can look around and check all my units better. So helps my YouTube, helps me looking around. So far so good. All right, here's the issue with some of that big cotton. We break off some of it. So I'm gonna reverse this out and hope I can just get some of this junk to get out of there. It normally works pretty good. If you break off too much, then you gotta get out and pull it out. So that seemed to do okay. I'll turn the row units back on. Shoot those sticks up. So, not bad. All right. That would be the 3rd dump that we put in there. So, first time this builder has worked for me. Not having a camera in there is kind of hard to know how even it is, but it'll work out, I'm sure. It's real high there at that spot. Anyways, it's working. Well, I just dumped. Dad's waiting to dump. He's full. We're going to finish this module, tarp it, and call it a night. It's 8:11. So that's I'll just get a module done, see how it goes. Things worked pretty good once we kind of got going. But I have no idea how much we got done or how good it is. I'll try to do some figuring on how many rows I stripped tonight and how much is left to get a rough idea how much maybe we could do on this farm. So I'm gonna go blow off the stripper, get all the junk off. I got a new toy that I'm borrowing from a friend, Wade Lakey, shout out again. I'll show you that in the daylight. Hopefully it'll make this job I'm about to do much easier. So stay tuned for the next video to see that. I'm gonna go blow it off, and that's it. Thanks for watching. If you're gonna farm it.